Subscribe to my channel Making Impossible and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any one of my upcoming videos.
Yo, what's up friends? I'm Shulazari and welcome back to Making Impossible, the channel that teaches you how to make the impossible and be the smartest person in the room. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you an amazing card trick that every single person can do. This is the first blockbuster card trick that I learned when I was in high school and even when I was never able to do any sleight of hand techniques. So this is a card trick in which you don't require a sleight of hand, but you can still prove that you have supernatural powers. And this is why this is one of the best card trick for the beginners. And today I'm going to show you how it looks like, and then I'm going to teach you the card trick. So without any further ado, let's start our today's video.
This week's Instagram feature goes to Adaveni Sainath. Follow him on Instagram. Link is given in the video description. I'll feature one lucky Instagram user every Monday in my Smack That Monday episodes. If you want your Instagram profile or page to be featured in my next Smack That Monday episode, follow the simple steps that are given in the video description. So now, let's continue.
Okay guys, this is how the performance looks like. Now what I do is I begin with a deck of cards completely mixed up and all the cards are different. So there are no duplicate cards that are present in this deck. Now what I do is I give this deck of cards a few shuffles so that the spectator doesn't suspect me or accuse me of arranging these cards in any particular order. So I just make sure that the spectator is completely having the knowledge that I have shuffled this deck and all these cards are mixed up. And even if they want to shuffle the deck of cards, you can just hand this deck of cards over to them to shuffle the deck of cards as many times as they want. And then after they have shuffled the deck of cards, you're just going to start off with the trick. So let's say this is the last shuffle that we are giving to this deck of cards. Now I'm just going to keep this cards right over here, and then I'm going to ask my spectator to cut this half or to cut this entire deck of cards into two equal halves, okay? And let's say he or she cuts the entire deck of cards into two equal halves just like this. Now what I do is I ask him or her to select one of the halves, and let's say he or she selects this one. Now what I do is I spread this deck of cards, this pack of cards, and ask him or her to take one card out and look at the card and remember its name. So let's say the spectator takes this card out, okay? So the spectator takes this card out and then he or she looks at the card. Trust me, I'm not going to look at the card, so I'm turning my head around. And make sure you remember the card, because in this case you are the spectator, and remember the name of the card. And then what I do is I ask the spectator to turn the card and put it down on the table. And then what I do is I just take all these cards and keep it just like this, okay? So right now I have their card inside this deck of cards somewhere just like this, okay? And I'm just going to give this deck of cards a few shuffles so that their card gets mixed inside this entire deck of cards, okay? Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to take all these cards and start spreading them haphazardly here and there, okay? I just spread them here and there everywhere on the mat, okay? I just spread all these cards just like this, okay? So right now, as you can see, there are all the cards present on this mat right now, and any card can be the spectator's card. So at this point of time, what I do is I touch the spectator's hand, and then I tell him that I have some supernatural power by which if I can touch their hand with which they have selected the card, then I can feel their card amongst all these cards. And I touch the spectator's hand, and then what I do is I try to figure out the spectator's card wherever it is, okay? So as I can sense right now, his card is somewhere in this pile, not in this pile. So I'm just going to remove these cards, okay? Now his card might be I think this one, okay? So I can sense this might be the spectator's card. I might be wrong, because I haven't seen at the card, and there are also no markings on the back of the card. But I don't know how I feel, but this is the spectator's card. And if I turn this card, and if it is your card, then it's a miracle, right? Trust me, I really don't know what your card is, so I'll just leave it to the video. I have to check the video again that if I did this trick correctly. But yes, this is the performance, and let's see how it's done. Okay guys, here is how the trick is done. Now first of all, you're going to take this deck of cards and you can shuffle it as many times as you want, and your spectator can shuffle it as many times as you want, as he or she wants. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to divide this deck of cards into two equal parts, because this is the most important part of the misdirection that you're going to cause. Now first, after your spectator divides the deck into two equal parts, you can just ask him or her to choose any one of the parts, okay? And let's say if he or she chooses this part, you're just going to spread it, and you're going to ask your spectator to select one card and take it out from this spread cards, okay? From the spreaded cards. And let's say he takes out this one, the 10 of diamonds, okay? So at this point, what you say to your spectator is just to turn this card over and put it down on the table, not on this pile or not on this pile, okay? So you ask him or her to put this card down, face down on the table. And then what you do is you casually take all these cards and put all these cards on top of the spectator's card. And then you also casually take all the rest of the cards or the other pack or the other half and put it on the top of all of these cards. So if you do all these movements casually, what you're actually doing is you're keeping the spectator's card right at the bottom of the entire deck of cards, okay? And when you're going to keep the card to the bottom of the entire deck of cards, for example, let's say your spectator has just put down their card on the table face down, what you're going to do is you're just going to keep talking with the spectator just like this as you put all the cards on top of it, so that they think that you are actually mixing their cards with the other cards, okay? So this is the misdirection that you have to cause. So they will think that you're just putting their card at a random position in this deck of cards, but all you're actually doing is you're putting their card in the or on the bottom of the deck, okay? To the bottom of the deck, sorry. So their card is right now in the bottom of the deck, and what you're going to do is you might just use some couple of false shuffles if you want to. For example, as you saw in my performance, what I did was I did a swing cut and then I put this bottom packet down on the table after doing the swing cut. So in the swing cut, the top packet goes to the left hand and the bottom packet remains in the right hand. I put it down on the table and then casually took this packet from my other hand and put it on the top of the bottom pack. So ultimately the position of the cards remains unchanged, okay? And then I gave it a few overhand shuffles without moving the bottom cards from its position. So for doing the overhand shuffle, I actually hold the deck of cards just like this, and then I ensure that the spectator is on the other side and they see the back side of the cards, because if these cards are turned like this, they will see that their card is on the bottom of the deck. So this should be the position of the cards while I'm going to do the overhand shuffle. And as I'm doing the overhand shuffle, what I'm doing is I'm bringing down few chunks of cards just like this. And when I'm starting to do the overhand shuffle, each time at the first move, what I'm doing is I'm not only bringing down few chunks of cards, but I'm also using my fingers to strip this card from the bottom to this part, okay? So if I strip the card, as well as if I just pull down chunks from the top, they won't see that I am actually keeping their card to the bottom of the deck. So what we are going to do is we're just going to do some few overhand shuffles and then try to keep their card at the bottom of the deck. Now at this point, you know that their card is on the bottom of the deck, and then you can just build up any mysterious magical story as I did. Like I touched their hand and then I said that I have some magical powers with which I can feel their card. If I have touched their hand, I can feel that card which they have touched, okay? So you can just build up any magical story like that, and then you're just going to spread this deck of cards and you have to keep a track of the bottom card, okay, while you are going to spread the deck of cards. So you're going to just start spreading with this card at the first position. You're just going to try to strip all the cards so that you can see the border of the bottom card just over here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to spread all these cards haphazardly on the table. Now you already know that this is the spectator's card and you always need to keep a track of that card, okay. So at this point, after you have told the magical story, you're just going to start doing some few gestures, and then you're just going to try to fill their card, okay. Just pretend to try to fill their card, and then you're just going to do like this, keep doing like this, and then you're just going to push this card forward. When you think that it is you have acted too much, you're just going to push this card forward and then say that I don't know how I feel that it is your card, or say that why I feel that this is your card, I don't know, I just feel that this is your card or this might be your card. And then you just take that card and turn it over, and the spectator is in shock indeed, of course, because this really looks supernatural, and this is one of the best card tricks that you can perform if you are a beginner, okay. Now I know many of these people will not like this card trick because of its process, but trust me, if you're going to use sleight of hand for the advanced magicians, if you're going to use sleight of hand, then this card trick will be a lot better, okay. So if you're going to use sleight of hand, just use the sleight of hand while you have to control any card to the bottom of the deck, okay. So let's say if you're using sleight of hand, just the spectator touches one card, and let's say he or she touches the king of spades. What you're going to do is you're just going to keep that card right over there, and then you're just going to control that card to the bottom of the deck, and then you can just do the card trick, okay. So this is how the advanced magicians can perform, because this card trick was solely for beginners, but still this is a very important tip for the advanced magicians. I know they don't require this tip, but still it's a tutorial, I need to give these tips. So this is how you're going to find their card, and that's it for the entire tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you did so, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Shoail Azari. Also, if you have any questions, you can use the comment section for that, and don't forget to subscribe to my other channel, which is a pretty savage channel. I post funny videos over there, and the link to that channel will be given right in the description box as well as in the cards. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button of this channel if you're not a subscriber yet, and turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss my upcoming videos and my future Smack That Monday episodes. Peace.